is the Herdline News.
So on Monday nights, the Thunder were in Utah, and Russell Westbrook got into a verbal altercation with a fan. It's everywhere. Everyone's seen it at this point. He was caught on tape, saying a few choice words. And after the game, Westbrook responded by saying that the fan was saying racial things towards him. Well, the NBA has now announced they've banned the fan. The Jazz have banned the fan forever from
and they did it quickly, by the way.
Yes,
NBA
they did an investigation, and they banned the fan.
And the Jazz
on it. To their credit, they were on it. Well, the NBA has announced that they've fined Westbrook $25,000 for his actions, citing the reason as directing profanity and threatening language to a fan. Westbrook did not receive a suspension, but like I said, they did impose a lifetime ban on the fan from the arena. And it's also out there, it's being reported that the fan is planning on suing Westbrook. I don't know what's going to come of that.
I don't think you should have suspended Westbrook. I don't think you want to threaten people, a woman. I didn't doubt that was a great look.
Well, I mean, I think that the NBA, I don't really agree that he should have been fined based off of the fact that the Jazz did do an investigation and found that they needed to ban the fan.
Yeah.
So I'm in Westbrook's corner because obviously, clearly, something happened that was egregious enough for the Jazz to ban the fan from the arena forever. But the NBA is kind of in a tough spot because he did use profanity and threaten a fan and his wife. So I get where the NBA is in this spot. They want to discourage, profanity-laced interactions with fans, but it's impossible not to be on Westbrook's side in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, my initial reaction when I saw it was, oh my God, he's unhinged again. And my general thought is always, how dumb do you have to be to yell racial slurs in front of 10,000 people? But there are a lot of bad people out there and a lot of dopes. My initial reaction to this was, Westbrook, come on. But time and time again, I talk to pro athletes and I ask them, have you ever heard racial slurs? It is remarkable to me. They're like, oh yeah. And I'm like, so somebody in a crowd of people in 2019 does that. It is shocking to me because my initial gut feeling was, Russell, you're a superstar. He's an idiot.
I wish I could say it was shocking to me. It's not shocking to me at all. 2019 thing just means to me that these people are so entitled that they feel like comfortable doing that in a setting with thousands of people and camera phones everywhere and security and professional athletes who can clearly hear them earshot away. Yeah. But I'm glad that the Jazz took care of it, and I'm assuming this is going to go away over the next couple of days. I don't anticipate more of these incidents with Westbrook. I know everyone thinks that fans are going to keep interacting, but I feel like the Jazz's reaction to this kind of put at least set a bar for future incidents that at least fans who are planning on heckling Westbrook will realize that if it goes badly, you can really actually not be allowed in the building ever again.
And by the way, I like what the Jazz did and the NBA did. You and I agree on this. I am so anti-heckling, not just because I've never once gone to a performance and wanted to heckle the performer.
No, I didn't pay to hear the heckler.
Secondly, it's disruptive to the other fans in the area. 99% of us go to athletic events to watch great artists perform, not to hear hacky stand-up comedian. I mean, I've gone to stand-up shows, an idiot next to me thinks he's funnier than Jerry Seinfeld.
It's the absolute worst.
The worst. If you get rid of these fans, hallelujah.
And look, no one is saying that you can't go yell and cheer or boo or participate in stadium and arena chants. There's a line. It's very obvious. The guy crossed it. It's done. All right. So the Chiefs agreed to trade Dee Ford to the 49ers. The 49ers making big moves. They sent a 2020 second-round pick to Kansas City for the linebacker. The Niners also wasted no time securing Ford to a long-term deal.
I love this.
5-year, $87.5 million extension.
Joy, I love this.
They made him one of the highest paid linebackers in the league. This is a good move. I think it's a good move for both teams, actually.
Yes, yeah. No, Dee Ford's a real player. And they also have Chris Jones. And, I mean, Kansas City is doing the opposite of the Jets and Cleveland.
Right.
They're like, hey, we're moving out of these stars.
Well, they did sign Tyrann Mathieu to a pretty big deal.
And he's a very instinctive player.
Right.
I like Ty Mathieu.
And they need that. But I also think that they have a lot of people they have to pay.
Yeah.
So they were going to have to move off of somebody. And I like this move for the 49ers.
And they have a history of drafting well. Kansas City does a good job finding talent.
Yes. And they're going to rebuild. They have a new defensive coordinator. They're going to figure it out. Finally, Earl Thomas has agreed to sign with the Ravens. You mentioned a few minutes ago. The deal is for 4 years and $55 million.
That's a lot.
Adam Schefter.
A lot for safety.
It includes $32 million guaranteed and $22 million in the first 9 months. He had 22 tackles and 3 interceptions last year before the injury where he broke his leg.
Yeah.
And the Ravens were first in total defense last season, so this is obviously just an improvement on being great.
Yeah, they lost C.J. Mosley, though, and Terrell Suggs. So I think for them, this isn't desperation. This is, we got to get some playmakers. I mean, they lost real playmakers on that defense.
Yeah, C.J. Well, Suggs is older, but he's a huge piece of that defense. And
Mosley's a
veteran, obviously.
Totally. Oh, they just signed Mark Ingram. So the Ravens' moves make a lot of sense to me. So they lost top defensive players. They go get Earl Thomas. More money than I'd want to pay for a safety, but I get it. And they just signed Mark Ingram. And I told you yesterday, I thought Baltimore and Le'Veon Bell made a lot of sense. Lamar Jackson.
I like Mark Ingram there, too, though.
Yeah, no. This offense can be a ball control offense. If you got to play Baker and those weapons and Big Ben, you don't want those guys on the field. So Mark Ingram and Earl Thomas to the Ravens don't feel desperate. They feel like really smart moves of not only of not great value, but great need. They need those two.
Win your division first, right?
Yep.
So.
Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
I always say, I like my quarterbacks to be boring. I call it my bore four. Brady, Breeze, Russell Wilson, Andrew Luck. I like Jared Goff. I like Darnold more than Baker Mayfield. I don't get the nonsense. I don't get the bravado. I don't get the cockiness. I'm a big fan. It is interesting, though, to watch Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold as they enter their second year and see the similarities between the two. It's really fascinating to me. And I think both are going to succeed in this league. It's going to be hard for Baker not to score a lot of points with that offense. But just think about the similarities between Baker Mayfield with the Browns and Sam Darnold with the Jets. First of all, they both come into the league and finish below 500. Then they both, second year, have a new coach. And then both sign massive, big personality, big Odell Beckham, Le'Veon Bell, controversial stars. They both are franchises, Jets and Browns, with a history of chaos. Ownership up, down, they make their own problems. They also are in a division with iconic franchises who are very well run. Steelers, Patriots. And one more thing. Both these acquisitions could implode. Okay, Odell Beckham has an injury history, and the Giants got rid of him because they didn't love what he did to the locker room. And Le'Veon Bell's been suspended twice, injured once, and I'm not sure he loves football. I think he likes what football provides for him, and he's very, very good, but I don't think Le'Veon Bell's totally happy today. He lost $15 million. He's getting ripped by everybody today. Also, Cleveland's got Freddie Kitchens, a rookie coach, now having to deal with a big ego GM, an ego at quarterback, Odell Beckham and massive expectations, and Darnold's got Adam Gase and Greg Williams and Joe Vitt, big, strong personalities in that locker room from the coach. And I think Baker and Sam, they won Twitter yesterday, and it's explosive.